Grand Rising, my neuromelanated family. Once again, I am here to spread some love and give you some much needed information. Just want to say Grand Rising to you, and I pray that you're having a wonderful morning. I'm out here, of course, in nature where I thrive best, enjoying this beautiful day. Got a lot of sunshine, birds are chirping, the squirrels are running around, getting in mischief. So it's a really comfortable setting right now out here in my created oasis. I'm having fun. I woke up this morning and I chose joy, which I do every day, and I try my very best to thrive in that all day, every day. So, so just wanted to come on, and first of all, I wanted to give you an update. I got a message this morning from some of Rashad Jamal's team, and they shared that he has a court date coming up on May 19th at 9 a.m. in Broward County, Georgia. So I'm familiar somewhat with the Atlanta area. Not sure exactly where Broward County is, but I'm sure you can Google it and find that out. And if those of you, they're asking if you're close anywhere near the area, and if you can, to please come out and support that brother, because he has really been going in hard for us, for all of us. And so I would suggest we support him in any way that we can, because he is our brother, and we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all one together. So just wanted to give you that information. May 19th at 9 a.m. in Broward County, Georgia. Support him if you can, please. The other thing I wanted to kind of mention, I was having a very, very beautiful conversation with my baby girl last night. And I tell you, she's such a phenomenal soul. She's a really bright, she's always been a bright child, and with amazing insight on life, and just a very talented young lady. We were talking, and she mentioned to me something that I hadn't been hearing very much about lately, but it's been on my mind quite a bit this morning. When she mentioned the suicide rate has gone up so high, and she said, "Mama, people are just committing suicide, young and old." And I said, "Really?" And I imagine so, with all that's upon us right now in today's time. But I guess I just haven't seen a lot of the statistics, and haven't heard anybody really talking about it. Maybe I'm just not in the circle where they're mentioning it right now. But she talked about it, and it was really heartbreaking, some of the things that she shared with me. But I can imagine, like I said, and I just want to say, guys, you know what? We have to depend on one another, mentally and socially, emotionally. We need each other so much. And sometimes we get so bogged down in our own stuff that we just don't think about, or don't have enough room sometimes in our minds to think about someone else. But I'm going to ask you to reach back and check on your brothers and sisters, your family members, your friends, and those strong beings, those people that always seem to have it together. You'll be surprised at what they struggle with. Just because they look a certain way does not mean that they don't go through things. I had a friend tell me recently. He was, talking about me actually, and I was sharing something with him, and he said, I said, I don't understand why sometimes people look at me and they think that they're amazed because they always think that I have it all together. And I said, I've been friends with Michael since we were teenagers, and we grew up in the same town. And his response to that was that you make it seem easy, Valerie, is what he called me. He said, you make it seem easy. And I said, really? He said, you do. You make it seem really, really easy. I say, well, it is definitely not. A lot of times it's not easy. but check on those strong people, those people that always seem to have it, pulled together. Because you'll be amazed at, how much they may need to get a phone call from you, or a text, or an email, or some kind of contact, just to let them know you're thinking about them. Because people are really going through. And it's really weird how my daughter brought that up last night. And then I turned around and got a message this morning on a YouTuber that I follow. And that was her actual topic. And she actually headed the topic by saying something to the point of, this is something that our light workers are not talking about. We're not talking about this. We're talking about everything else, but for some reason we're not talking about this. And I said, man, that's something. I said, my daughter was just talking about that last night, the suicide rate and the things that the response to, with the people with all that's going on today. And this young lady came on and on her podcast, on her YouTube channel, and that's what she talked about. And she said it's just not enough of us talking about it, and we need to talk about it. And so she asked all podcasters and YouTubers to let's talk about this topic, because it is very much needed today. So I wanted to mention that too. If I know we all got our own load, but if you can find some energy, you can squeeze out just a little bit of energy to reach out to your friends and families and those strong people that we always look at as might never need anything. We need it too sometimes. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And then the last thing I wanted to do is I try to share books that I'm reading, that I've read, that I am going to read, books that have been recommended to me to read. And like I always say, when I get something, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm gonna share it with you. And so I want to share a few books that I have, like I say, that I've either read, planning on reading, or reading right now, because I want you guys to get the information also that I'm getting, or have it be offered to you. So about once every 2 weeks or so, my plan right now is to share these books with you that I'm reading, and in my effort to help you to get this knowledge. And remember, I always say the first place we need to visit is to tap within ourselves. So tap in and get the knowledge that's already in us, because it's there. We just forgot. So that's the first place. But then then we can also get this knowledge from a lot of knowledge from these books. So I'm going to mention these few books. I'm not going to be on long today. I do have an appointment, and so I got to prepare for that. But let me start by sharing the first book. My daughter bought me this for Mother's Day, actually, last year. She bought this book, and it's called The Sacred Woman by Queen of Fua. It's a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. This book is a blockbuster. And for us women, black women especially, that are trying to heal ourselves wholesomely throughout our whole body, this book is one that I would recommend. And I'm not going to go into anything. I'm just going to mention the book and the author, And if you have any more questions, you can reach out to me, and I can elaborate even more. But it's by Queen of Fewer. She's a very popular healer on YouTube, and I think she has her own website. But it's called again Sacred Woman, and it is a phenomenal book. This is one that I have read, and I'm in the process of soon reading it again. It's one of those books you want to reference, you know, forever, I would say. And the next book is called The Message to the Black Man. This book is written by Elijah Muhammad, and this is a very phenomenal book. Now, I don't subscribe to religion. I am a spiritual being, and I went back to what we had originally, and so that's where I am. But a lot of these books, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can pull source from sometimes from anywhere, and you take the meat and throw the bones away. But this book, I found it. I have read this book, and this book is phenomenal. It's for our people, especially. This book gives you a lot of information that you can use to manifest out your greatness. And so I recommend Message to the Black Man in America by Elijah Muhammad. That's a book. You can look these books up, look at the reviews, and and get more information on them if you want some specifics, because I'm just gonna briefly just share the name and the author just a little bit. The next book, and I've read this one as well, is The Fall of America by Elijah Muhammad. This is a great book, and a lot of very powerful information, very uplifting information in this book as well. And it's one of those, if you look like me, you want to have this one in your library, because it's a exceptional source. This book, Black God by Dr. Supreme Understanding. This is a phenomenal book. I'm sure many of you know that all of the gods initially were black, and other groups know that, and they were worshiping black, and they still do. They still do behind the scenes. They just don't let us see it. But all of the gods this is an introduction to the world's religions and their black gods. They all started out black, and before they were tampered with, they looked like us. So it's this is one of those books, if you want to get true history, you want to look into researching this information, get this book. And I have read this one. It's a phenomenal read as well. Also, for anyone, I'm not a millennial, but I wanted to become familiar with what this young brother, who I admire greatly, had to offer. So I bought A Message to the Millennials by Brother Risa Islam. This is a phenomenal book. This book gives you a lot of information, and he's actually talking to millennials, but I got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it anyway, but it has a lot of information about what's happening currently, like today, right now. And so this is another good read. Message to the Millennial by Riza Islam, Bruh Riza Islam. So these are books that I find just phenomenal. If you want to broaden your horizon and knowledge, these books will get you there. I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman by Michael Porter. This book it's really, really good, and it'll help you understand what they are doing to destroy black women. Because if you take the black woman off her throne, there is no kingdom. The kingdom falls. So this book will help you understand how and why they are trying to do just that. And it'll explain to you why we need to get ourselves back in gear to stop it. So it's called The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman by Michael Porter. You wanna get this one. I'm like I said, I'm reading this one right now. This book is called Brainwashed: Challenging the Myth of Black Inferiority by Tom Burrell. This is another book that was recommended to me, and I have not yet read this one, but I've read some of the excerpts, and I'm excited. And it's this one, and the last one. All of those that I just gave you so far are Black authors, which I feel good about that. So, but this is one you want to add to your library. Brainwashed by Tom Burrell, and it helps us understand the kinds of things that they've done to us to stop us from being walking into who we really are. So that's another book you wanna put in your library. And this one is Huey P. Newton's book, Introduction by Frederica Newton, Revolutionary Suicide. That's a book that you need to have in your library. If you look like me, you want to get this book as well. And this is one that I haven't read yet, but if you can look at the front cover and know that this book is gonna give you some good stuff. So, Revolutionary Suicide, Huey P. Newton, I would recommend. Now, these three books next here. These books was recommended to me actually by Rashad Jamal. He recommended these books, and these offer you some help in gaining your power back and giving you tools to be able to manifest financially, etc. And the first one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I follow this person on YouTube, and he's a very brilliant mind, and he can offer you a lot of self-help tools in several areas, but especially in finances. So I've been hearing a lot about this book here lately. I have not read it yet, but it's on my list to read very soon. And it's again Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So you want to get that book. And that, my understanding, it gives you the teachings of the tools that the rich people, have used and given their descendants. And it gives you that kind of information. So you want to check in and try and find that book. The next one is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This is an international bestseller. Very, very popular book. I have not read it yet, but I got it. So, and eventually I will get to it. But it's one of those books that you hear a lot about. A lot of people talking about it, and I've heard nothing but great things. And if it's an international bestseller, it's something you probably want to look into purchasing and reading and having in your library. A lot of these books, it's good to go back and read them again, because a lot of times the brain can only take in so much at a time. So you want to go back and reference them later as well. The next one is The Art of Seduction, also by Robert Greene. This is an international bestseller. Well, actually, the author is an international bestseller. The 48 Laws of Power is the book that they referenced before this. So, but my understanding, it's a very phenomenal read. I have not read it yet, but it teaches you so much. I can't even begin to give you the list. On the back, it lists all of the points that this book makes to help you understand what happened to us and why. And looks like what, some of the things we need to do to pull out of the hole that we're in. So this is another book I would recommend you purchase. The last two books I'm going to show you are, both of these books are very, very popular books. I've heard about these books, at least one of them I know. I've been hearing about it since the 1980s. They are I don't know, classics is what I call them, but they will help you see the truth about this system and how they have been planning for centuries to do the things that they've been doing and the things that are happening right now, which we're at the tip of the iceberg. But this book, George Orwell's 1984, that's one of those very powerful books. From what I understand, if it's true, both of these authors, I think, have been murdered behind these books. So you want to you want to get this one and you want to read this one. I am in the process of reading one of them. I haven't opened this one to read yet, but I've heard enough about this book to know that it's going to offer a whole lot and to help me understanding a lot of the stuff that's been going on. It says war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. George Orwell's 1984. You want to get that. And the last one I'm going to mention is the book, and I'm sure many of you have already heard. I am also in the midst of reading this. Sometimes I'll read 2 or 3 books at one time. And some people say, "Oh, I can't do that," but that works for me. Sometimes I'll have an interest in 3 different, 3 types of information, and I'll read them. And one night I may be, you know, want to focus on this certain book, and the other book maybe another night, but whatever my mood is and what I'm interested in at that moment. So I can read 2 and 3 books at a time, and it just works for me. But this book is called Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. Very popular book, classic book, just like George Orwell's 1984. Real popular. And this author also, my understanding, I've been told, has been murdered. So when they murdering the authors, you got to know there's something in their information that is heavy. So this is another book you want to put in your library. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. So I'm in the middle of this one, and this book, if this book don't wake you up, something is really wrong. This book will wake you up. Probably gonna make you angry too. But so those are a list of books, and I have so many more, but those are some that I've read, some that I anticipate to read, and a couple of them I'm in the process of reading. So knowledge is power, family. You know that. And how we gain knowledge is many ways that we learn. Reading these books, going within, traveling, being around powerful people that are doing great things, just paying attention and using critical thinking and not just following someone and not using our own brain, which is what they've kind of taught us to do, those that are still going along with that bull crap. But there are so many ways that we can learn, as we continue this experience in this life. And so, like I said, anything that I get, I'm going to share it with you because knowledge is power. And right now, more than anything else on the planet, we need power. So I thank you for listening. I appreciate it so very much. I just want to give back to my people. I am so very people oriented, my people. Very, very pro-black. I love people, but our people have been so underrepresented for so long. And my focus is going to be right here with you. And that's my passion, and that's part of my purpose. So I'm just being obedient. Whew. These squirrels, they've been scaring me lately, y'all. I'm sorry. But anyway, so thank you again for tuning in and listening. I thank you so, so very much. And I want to say namaste to you. Assalamu alaikum and ashe. Click like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I thank you so much. Continue to be beautiful, and blessings to you. Have a great rest of the day. I love you very much, and that's from my heart. Bye-bye.